My name is Kaduna. I'm a global developer expert for Flutter and that. It's nice meeting everyone. Please, I'll be back. Can you see my screen? So, we did a workshop. Mine is the coding part, but I'll ask you, which part do you want? The fun part first or the hard part? You know the hard part is the coding part or the fun part. Which part do you want to see first? The hard part first. Okay. So, as you all know, we are dealing with Gemini AI. Gemini AI, we've been hearing generative AI ever since, from Google CEO when they did the generative AI. So, we want to show that generative AI can be fun and not just about building, while you can also build apps for solving problems, you can also build fun apps. So today, we built a game for GDG Kaduna. And all of you made it as long as you have your system, I think you can continue to wait. So because of time, we're running out of time, so because of time, I'll walk you through the code lab, but the source code will be available if you want to follow, so that you go through it. We'll be using Flutter. For those that don't know about Flutter, let me just quickly show. So Flutter is also a tool by Google. It's used to build for any screen. That is, if you have any screen, mobile, desktop, web, even embedded system, Flutter can build apps for you on that screen. So it's also a tool that it's built by Google. It's an open source framework built by Google. And what it does is that if you have like an Android app, iOS app, when you use the Flutter, the Dart code, when you compile it, it changes that code to the native code on your phone. So this is a big advantage of Flutter. And it's very fast. It's used by many users and many companies. Many companies are using it. So we advise many tech people to learn Flutter because it's easy. Most of our banks use Flutter, UBA, and most of our tech communities in Nigeria use Flutter and all over Africa. So we'll be integrating Flutter and Gemini together. So the way to do that, you go to ai.google.dev. So we'll start with going to ai.google.dev. These are for developers. Even though you're a designer, the game we are playing is for all tech staff. So we just go to ai.google.dev to get started. This is AI for developers. You go to, so before what we learned was trying with the Google AI Studio. Now we are not using the UI part, the AI Studio. We want to integrate it with an app. So there are different languages you can use. So let's go to read API doc. So when you go there, you see getting started with Gemini API. So, but what we'll be dealing with, we'll find the language we are dealing with. The quick start here, we'll be dealing with Flutter. So you can just filter or search. So you see, okay, yes, you see get started tutorials. You see it at the right hand side, to the top right hand. Or when you even scroll down, you see different languages you can work with the Gemini API. There's Python, Android, Web, iOS, Go. So the advantage of using Flutter is that when I use Flutter, I can now build on iOS, Android, and even embedded systems when I use Flutter. So that is the advantage. And so we'll be getting started with that, which is Flutter. So you see, in this tutorial, you see that there are like 5 things you can do. you can actually set up your project, including the API key. If you remember, when you were using the Google AI Studio, the first thing you did was getting your API key. I don't know if that was what Matt used. You get your API key. So what API key will be using it? So, but these are the 5 things you can do with Flutter. But for the sake of time, I know setting up Flutter on your systems for those that don't have it will take long. So for what we did, we'll go through it. So this is the fun part. I would like all of you to go to this page. If you can scan it, please scan it. If you can't, the link is this. I don't know if you can see it. If you can scan this, please scan it. The link is branddetective.su. I'm coming, let me just find a way to show it. So 3MT is sharing free Wi-Fi. In case you don't have internet, you can use this code with Kaduna. This is for the password for the Wi-Fi if you don't have internet. So the other link is for your mail. Please ensure you fill it to get your mail when you are going. If you don't fill it. So for this, I think it's, let me use this. So you go to branddetective.su. This is the link you go to. That is brand-detective.surge.sh. So if you open this app, you'll notice that is the Flutter app. This was the game that was built working with Gemini AI. So while you look at the home page, don't click on start, please. If you are there on the link. Can you see this page? Okay, this is the page. brand-detective.surge.sh. Then this is the link you go to. So all of you are using my API key. You are supposed to use your API key. And you want below? No. You can go to this link. This is the link you go on your browser. Just type the link then on your mobile phone. So what is your mobile? Can you see this page? Brand Detective, powered by Gemini AI, which is so I want to show you that Gemini AI can be fun too. You can build games with AI. So I'll just give you a high level of what is happening in this brand detective. The brand detective is that we have different tech stack in the whole world. That is, we have designers that know Figma, we have developers that know Node.js, we have product managers that know Asana, different brand logos. So you'll be a detective, but Gemini will be the one asking you questions, and Gemini will be the one generating those questions. So imagine everybody having different sets of questions. I don't have to create the questions. Gemini is the one generating it, you are answering the question. Then if it's right, Gemini will score you at the end. So that is the fun part. Don't click start. Don't click start. But if you click start, you start playing the game. But it will not be fun if I do not go through the code. So let me just quickly go through the code because the code is very Have everybody open the page so that I'll be sure? Okay. So, do we have Flutter developers in the house? Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that's good. So, I believe you are intermediary, right? Yes, thank you. So, I'll go through the code a little bit so you. My designers in the house, this is supposed to be fun because I think Figma have dev mode. So you should not be afraid of the code. That's for designers and other staff. They are not used to saying. So what we did here is that we created a new Flutter app. When you create a new Flutter app, it will generate the folders for you. So if you look at my folder, this application is running both on Android, iOS, Linux, macOS. I think those are the and web. Yes, and web also. So with this application, I can run it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 platforms just with one code base. I don't need to learn Android development. I don't need to learn. Though you're using it, but you don't need to learn those core languages. You can just learn that language, and automatically you have access to these 6 platforms. So if you are a dev and you want to do a startup, you can use Flutter to do that. You don't have to start deploying to Android, then go back to deploy to. You just have that one code that you need to learn.
Bring my sister.
So I'll just walk you through. To start with Gemini and Flutter, you have to add this package. This is the Google Generative AI package. Google already created that package for us to just seamlessly integrate our Flutter app. So we don't have to be doing much like the other tech stack. Like if I go to this get started and you are seeing Python, you see that you have to be the one to make those API calls and all. But in Flutter, you just have to use the Google Generative AI package. This is the package. So that website I showed you, you go to the link, you'll be able to see it, and this is just the simple code to use to access Gemini AI.
Okay, you want to drop my video? I see my phone for this.
Using Flutter. So these are just the basic cases. One of the cases here you have is when you use Gemini to generate a story for you. You can tell Gemini that please write a story for me, that can be a Flutter. This is the code to do that. But the use case we did for Build with AI for Kaduna is a game case, which can be fun and also learning. So let's quickly go through what we did. So after creating, you'll see my service here. There's a Gemini. So there's a Gemini AI service. For those that don't understand that language, I think it's similar to JavaScript and TypeScript and Java. If you understand most programming language, I'll just be saying it based on it. So we created a class. What you see here is that we are using a fake data. For development purpose, in case you are testing with AI, you know they are making use of the API key. So for building purpose, not to use all your buildings, you can use a fake data to test. So this is coming from the environment. Anytime if you have the source code to this, if you have the source code, you see you have to place your API key, otherwise you will not be able to use it. So we created a service known as Gemini AI service. And this is the code I showed you from. This is just a logger to see my outputs. So we are using Gemini Pro at the moment because we are working with text. We are using Gemini Pro. If you are working with image, you have to specify Gemini Pro Vision. So there's a function that gets the brand points in. So I'll show you the code, then I'll show you the prompt so that you understand what we are doing with. So this is the prompt I told the AI. I say you are a brand detective game where users detect brands by answering questions about them. So you are actually telling this AI what to do. Your task is to generate questions, options, and answer for the game. here is a list of brand names. So I gave it a list of brand names. To make it get difficult, I was using simple icon. I'll show you the code. I was using simple icon to generate. Simple icon have like almost 5,000 brands in the world. So here's a list of brands to choose from. You pick 5 random brands from the list and create a multiple choice questions, 4 options for each. The difficulty of finding the answer should reflect the brand's popularity. So if you see questions like Google, it's very easy to answer. So it will make it very difficult if the brand is easy. So craft unique questions. Present the questions where users select the brand icon as the answer. Provide your response as a JSON object, only in this schema format. So with the format, it will be questions, listing a list of questions and the options and the answer to the question. Do not return your answer as a markdown. So this is a prompt. So if you have a business, this is like the prompt you tell the AI. You can tell the AI, take these 2 images, show me the difference between it, and it will be an app that you can give to anybody to use. So it's just about how you craft this. So a lot of people are learning prompt engineering. Before I was able to get this, I have to like keep trying. The AI was just giving me different things. Sorry, I never use my wife. My wife is there. She was the one that crafted the last prompt I was working. So that is the prompt, and as you can see, this is the code you just give. So if you go back to what Google, the getting started, you'll see that it's the same thing we are doing here. They asked us for the model, which we did. Then they asked for the content. The content is your prompts. So our own prompt was that one. So you just wait for the model to generate the content. So the AI will be the one to generate that. And when you generate it, you send it back as a string. Then in our service, in our game service, okay. Okay, so when you initiate a game, this is a function, or some people call it method. It's inside a class known as game service. When you initiate the game, you see, okay, let's say replying. Okay, yes. For replying, if you generate the first question, it gets you a list of popular brands. So the answer is easy. So you'll be happy that, oh yeah, you know this question. But in the next time, it will get you a list of unpopular brands. So brands that you don't know. So all of you must almost fail your question because it's very difficult to answer that one. But for the first question, it's just a popular brand. So Gemini will call that function in Gemini service to list the brands for us. Then it will generate it. If the response was fake, it will generate a fake game for us. So this is what the service is doing. So for the score, let me just show you when you are submitting your answer. We calculate our answer based on the time you used to answer it. So if a question comes up, I give you a max seconds or 50 seconds. If you can't answer it within 50 seconds, you score 0. So if you think you can go to Google and type the question to see the answer, you've already failed because 50 seconds is the max time limit. So this function is just calculating your score for each question. So that's what the function is doing. So you can't cheat the game. So that is for the UI part. That is for the Flutter code part. I think our model is okay, these are our model. Our model have a list of questions. Question index, the current score, the selected options, and also these are fake game data. So these are fake game data. So example of the question like, which cloud computing platform is known for its high availability and scalability? These options are all like Amazon, AWS, Google Cloud. So which collaborative software is designed for teams? So all these ones are the test questions. When I'm developing, this is what I used to test. So it's time for you to go to the fun part. You can all on the game, but what I would like is at the end, take the screenshot of your score. At the end of the game. So you can all on click on start. Think it's started. It's opening on phone. Anybody can't open it on phone. Hope you have this HTTPS on phone. You are not just typing the. Or can you scan? Let me show you the. If you can scan, please scan this on your phone. This way, when you scan this, it takes you to the site. So if you want to play a game, you can start. But screenshot your score, let's see the. So I forgot to mention, but I'll show you. But anything you observe on the game, please keep your question. Then we'll solve it with the code here. Yes? Yes, you can start. If your own is open. Please. Yes? Okay, so you notice something with the API. All of you are using my API key. So you know that the bandwidth is very refresh, please. You refresh. You are wasting time. You are wasting time. You get 0. You get 0 if you think you are wasting. Please, if you can open it. What did you score? You score 100 over 500 points. Please screenshot it because those that share it, those that have high score.
You scored.
So let me start my own. Maybe all of us will answer it together. Please, if you're having a problem with the game or you note anything, please just note it for improvement. The code base will be available for everybody and those that want to start with Flutter. Yes, what did you get? Just screenshot yourself. You try now, you pass Mr. Show. Mr. Show is not here. Why is everybody getting 145? 200. Wow. Please screenshot it. Please screenshot it because you have also to share it and you go to this link. You go to this link. So nobody got 300. The game is very easy now. Don't play it anymore. So nobody got 400. So, okay, so you go to this link. For those just coming, please go to this link I highlighted here. So you have access to the game. So from what you saw, if you have access to the source code, you can actually modify the source code to fit the idea you have. Like we've created a lot of games. There's one game, it will be difficult to play the game here. That's why I'm not doing that anymore. The game is that you take your phone, it will ask you where you are, if you're at home or outside the house, or where you specify. If you say you're at home, Gemini AI will give you 5 things to go and find. Then you use your camera to go and find them. If it's laptop, you snap. When you snap that thing, then you notice that Gemini will be the one to validate if the laptop is the same with the name. So that's where multimodal comes in. When you're using a multimodal AI like Gemini, it's easy to work with both images and prompts. So I can tell Gemini that, hey, is this a bed? Then Gemini will look at the image and identify it, then give you. So you can even create that game for your school, create the game for just fun, and you'll be working with different. Yeah, that can even be, with this example, I believe most of you will be able to do that. Like you see the prompt I gave, but, so if you go to this link, okay. So let me, on the game, maybe you guys will help me to, I want to start my own game. So this is what the game is. So when I start my game, I'll show you some things that, in case there's an error, we handle most errors. So when you think of cloud computing, which brand is the first thing that comes to mind? So I'll submit. What brands offer an online platform for learning coding skills? This one? Yeah. So the time you used to answer to drag and drop is popular design to mid-name Canvas. So I'll get 500. So look at my point, 200. What brand is fast and versatile programming language known for concurrency? Rust. Sorry, go. Sorry.
This one is different from our own.
Yes, Gemini is generating different questions for everybody. The text editor offers a smart code completion feature. It's great to beat. I think it benefited. Oh, 400. So I got 400 out there. So this is possible with Flutter. If it's not possible, I would have generated the code. You'll be able to run it on your iPhone as a normal app. You can run this code on anywhere that have a screen. This code is just a single code base, but it can run anywhere. It's running on the web at the moment, but we can run it on desktop, even on your Windows, Mac OS. So what I did there is just to show you one. I think we got all the answer. It's showing green. This green at the bottom is to show you that you got it. But the time we answered it, that was what failing us. So that is why your teachers will tell you can't get 100 over 100. Because no matter how, you see the time we used to answer, minus 90 points out of it. So if I'm to change that time to like 1 minute and redeploy this app, you see that almost everybody will have 500 or 500. So this is just to show you the game. The game we built for GDG Kaduna. I hope it's exciting. So for the code part, if there's anything you need from the game part, like while you are working with the game, if there's any question you have, please ask so that I'll show you the code. I'll stop my API key. We are all using my API key. You are supposed to build this game on your system and use your API key. You get? I'm not running. If you are running a business, you can get your API key, then everybody can use your API key. This one is my own personal API key. Everybody have access. I think by May, that is when you start paying for Gemini. Yes, by May you start paying, but for now, everybody have access. So when you have access to the source code, you can, for you to run it, you have to deploy with your API key. So if there's any question for the Flutter experts, please ask so that. Okay, so please just wait. There's a question mark. There was something I was looking for. Close it. I don't know if you see any question mark in your icon. Yeah. So those are the icons that are not available. So Google sometimes might generate an icon that is not available on simple icons. 440. Wow. I know Mr. Shehu. 442. So yeah, so any question, anything you want to know about this coding part, if you are using another language, I can help you out. It's not my expertise, but I can still help you out. If there's anything you want to know about Flutter, and also this, if there's any question about how we built this, please I can answer for you. Yes, you're not around. Yes. Okay, let me just go through it. So what we did is that we created a new Flutter app following this get started. Okay, to get started with, for developers, you have to go to ai.google.dev, and when you go there, you will see get started tutorials, which we select Flutter as our platform to develop. So there are 5 steps for you to use Flutter on Gemini AI. You can set up your project, including your API key, which you got from the AI studio. Then there is 2 models you can use. You can use generate text with text only input, which we are showing an example. Then there's another one that you can use text and image, which is the multimodal AI. So to get started, actually, you have to get set up your Flutter environment, which we are not doing today, or maybe any day of our workshop, you can come, we'll set up Flutter on your system. So you set up the project by getting an API key. Then you install this Google generative AI package. This is the package you use to connect your Flutter app with Gemini AI. So once you do that, I think this source code is just showing you that it's very easy to connect it because it's just like, I think 7 lines of code on it. So for common use case, what they did is that they want to use Gemini to generate a story. So they use that code above and they told Gemini to write a story about a magic backpack. Which, if I'm the one developing this, magic backpack will be a variable. And I will just ask you to type what you want Gemini to write a story. And when you type it, when you click on maybe Go, Gemini will write a story about what you type. So this is what they use their case for. So in our own app, is a brand detective game. So if I go to the prompts, I created a service known as the Gemini AI service, which it's collecting my API key from the environment side. If you are used to VS Code, when you go to launch, you'll notice that you can add arguments that you will supply your API key. So here is the API key you can supply. You can change it to your own and you use your own API key. So in this service, what is happening is that I'm using when this source code is available, my API key will not follow it to GitHub. Yes. So when you have your own API key, you just need to supply it to use Gemini AI. So the model we are using is a Gemini Pro because we just want it to generate text only. We are not supplying images at the moment. So let me show you what the prompt is. So this is the prompt. I told Gemini that you are a brand detective game where users detect brands by answering questions about them. Your task is to generate questions, options, and answer for the game. Here is a list of brand names. So we supply a list of brand names from Simple Icon. Simple Icon if you go to Simple Icon, you'll notice that they have almost all the brands, SVG, files, and more. So if you see question mark in any of your games, it's showing that the icon that Gemini generates is now available on Simple Icon. So that's just why the question mark is there. So you pick 5 random brands from the list and create a multiple choice questions, 4 options for each. The difficulty of finding the answer should reflect the brand's popularity. Craft unique questions. Make sure the options and correct answer are the brands listed exactly as they are. Present the question where the user selects the brand icon and the answer. Provide your response as JSON object only in this schema format. So I gave it a format, and this is the format it will generate. So it's easy for me to decode this format and show you. So this is what it's just doing. It's sending this format, the question is showing, the options are showing, and the answer is behind the scene. So that's what it's doing, and it's sending back the response to the game service. So the game service, when you initialize the game service, the first thing the game service will do, I just kept this variable replying. Replying means that you've played your first game, you want to play the next one. So if it's not replying, it will get you popular brands. Popular brands, like if you go to the brand service to see popular brands, you see the list of brands that are available. Like most of us are familiar with Adobe, Airtable, Alibaba Cloud, Amazon, Angular. So these are the brands it will give you at first when you select it. So if you see when you are getting popular brands, this method is picking from the 50 popular brands that we have and returning them based on the brand map. But if you are getting unpopular brands, you see it's asking that get brands that are not, this symbol is not in that language, that are not part of the 50 popular brands. So that's what the get unpopular brand is doing, and it will return the same list to us. So in our game service is responsible for getting those brands, sending to Gemini. Gemini is returning it and is sending it to you when you see the game. The game service is also responsible for starting the stopwatch. The stopwatch is behind the scene, but we can still show it to show you if you are. So when you submit your answer, it's changed the time you take to answer it, and it goes to the calculate score for the question. Using our lecturer's format, you can't score 100, you can't score 500 or 500 for the game. So we set a time limit, which is 50 seconds. So within 50 seconds, if you can't answer you score 0 automatically. So if you answer it even after 50 seconds, the correct answer is still score 0. So that is what the calculate score is doing. And if you go to our UI part, before our UI, we have a model. Our model just contains a list of questions. The correct question index you're answering, the score. You said? The questions? No, the questions are coming from Gemini. That's what I showed you before. Like the questions are coming in this schema format. So in this schema format, this is the model. We have a list of questions, yes. So our view does have the game. We are making use of MVVM pattern. It has a view model and a view. Our view model is making use of the newest stats feature, which is known as pattern matching. Some of you are familiar with it. I think you've been using it in Python, JavaScript. Pattern matching. It's like you are matching using switch statements, or you are matching those patterns together. So we have three states. When you are waiting, that is when you see do not start the game. When you start the game is in progress. When you end the game, that is when you see your score. So we have these three, and we are making use of MVVM. So we are using we created our view model. Our view model is making use of the game size. So these are just methods to interact with your UI. So these are the UI. When you do anything here, we are making our code very neat, such that it's using the pattern matching here. So any state you are, it will include that state. So when you go to game waiting, there's no logic here. What you are just seeing is when you click on start game, it initializes the game for you. So when this code is available, you have access to it to learn. And if you want to learn about Flutter, there's a community in Kaduna, Flutter Kaduna community, which you can learn. And if I'm available, we'll have physical workshops. So thank you. If there's any question, you said? Each question is 50. No, I think 50 seconds is very fast. You think it's 50 seconds. So when you pass 50 seconds, you get 0. Or no, I don't play up to 50 seconds. Let me show you. Yeah, that's a good question. So if you look at the time taken here, let me see if Gemini can generate. Let's use Gemini to tell you to generate sample examples and see what will happen here. But if you look at the question, it's using our time taking. What's our time taking? Maybe let's say we spend 20 seconds. 50 minus 20 seconds. Already you can't get the actual format, because when you use 50 minus 20, you get maybe 30. 30 divided by 100, that is like, I think, is it 0.3 or 30 divided by 100? 0.3. Then 0.3 divided by the max score, that is times 100 again, that is 30. You got 30 points. The less time you spend, the more your mark. So if you start getting everything as 0, 0, 0, you see that you'll be getting your complete mark. Yeah.
So when you do during the design, e-commerce, cross-platform, application, can it be used to handle the admin part of the product?
Okay, generate the full source code. I'll not say that use case is actually good to tell it to generate. I think Devan can do that. There's one new AI that is known as Devan. Yes. Devan can actually give you a full platform. But I think for Gemini use cases are mostly for like we say LLM. So you have to that, hey, create a Flutter app for e-commerce. So start writing on the code.
No,
Okay, let me show you one new case. I think that use case is not actually, I'll actually tell you the truth, it's not good for AIs to do that. But like as a use case here, this one use case, if you see here, this is a copy of marketing description. Let me see if I have, let me go to prompt gallery. So Gemini can actually do this. If you look at this, so if you look at this, Gemini can actually can create descriptions for you. It's more like, let's say it will generate a specific use case you want, not like actual full case. You start giving it a lot of use case to miss out the point. But for here now, given an image of a product and its target audience, write an engaging marketing description. So you can connect your Flutter app with this particular, let me call this, these are prompts too. You gave it a car, you gave it middle age men, then you gave it an example that introducing the epitome. So when you give Gemini an image now, it will, let's say, okay, let's add this, let's see this image. So let me run this. I gave Gemini, so this is another use case. I gave Gemini a bicycle. I told it that the target audience I'm targeting is environmentalists. So I gave it like a marketing description. So now I'm giving Gemini a basketball and athletes as the target audience. I can tell it to generate a marketing description. So when I run this, Gemini will look at my model, my prompts, and my use case and generate it. So with this, for your e-commerce app, you don't need to be writing description. You can just give Gemini the image. Maybe you are a marketer, those people that sell on WhatsApp. You can just snap what you want to sell, then give it the target audience. Okay, I'm selling a bag, I'm targeting all females between 40 below. Then Gemini will generate a sweet marketing description for you. So if you can see, it generates this marketing description. So these are use cases you can use for Gemini. And I'll just show you the fun part because most people are doing more of like marketing and all. So that was why we use game to show that it can be fun too. So I know it didn't answer your question, but I know where you were going. But for that use case, I'll just advise that you connect it with specific use case, like a little model, so that it's giving you what you want exactly. Okay? Is there any other question?
Yes, sir. You said Gemini generates the images, and then you check through.
No, it generates more. Yes.
About the brand images.
Yes.
And then it checks through the data page that has about 5,000.
Yes.
So what's the possibility of just using the URL of the images Gemini generated instead of going to the package that has 5,000?
Okay. If you go to simple icons.
Yeah, it's simple icons.
Simple icons.com, where we are using, they only provide you with the SVG. They provide you with the SVG and the name.
Yes, sir.
So if you look, Gemini, simple icons provide you with all these icons and their name. It's difficult to, except you have to write a program that will scrap through all this code to generate the link, which is not possible. So what we are doing in our Flutter app, if you look through here, in our assets, we have a simple icon JSON. If you look here, you see .env is the title. .env is the title.
Yes, sir.
.net is the title. And this is the website for .net, like to go to get that image. Most of them don't have a link to the image. Like 101 track list now just have a link to the website, but not to the icon. But we need that icon to be able to display on our app. So either in SVG format, icons, or so what we are doing again, if you go to our brand service, here, our brand service is having a converter. When you initialize the service, you see generate available brands. So it's looping through this simple icon JSON that we have in our assets. Then it's getting a brand slot. If you look at this brand slot, the brand slot is actually converting those names to, let me show you what it is. You go to the GitHub. So they have, I think they have, okay, yeah, so these are sludge. Sludge are names that are both familiar with your app, and Sludge are names that are both familiar with every app. Like we have JSON. JSON is a format that is available for all. If you are working with any language, you should be familiar with JSON because it's easy to interact with all languages. Okay, so if you see here now, .env, like I showed you, this is Sludge name. .NET lives in .NET. So if you give Flutter .NET, if you give Flutter this name, it will not recognize it. But if you give it this name, it will recognize it. So this is the name that Gemini recognizes. So Gemini recognizes this as an icon. Yes, and Flutter too recognizes it. But if you give it this one, it will not generate that icon. So that service, that is what that service is doing. Okay, so any question? Or you want to play it again? Yes, there's actually Kahoot, but I don't know. That was for our GDG DevFest. That was DevFest. So we don't create Kahoot, but you can create it. You can tell Gemini to generate a Kahoot question. But I don't think Gemini is a good use case for that. Why Gemini is useful in this our game is that you can't see the same question that this one is having. So it's a good use case that even lecturers, if you have a school, you can use it. Everybody will not have the same question, but you are sure that Gemini is actually generating different questions for each person. So it's even reduce maybe malpractice and all. So you can have the same options, but not the same question. You can even have different questions, same options, but so that is a good use case to use Gemini for. And I think the other game I would advise you to, if you have a Flutter, you just go to the scavenger. So let me see. So these are AI photo scavenger, but you have to clone this and run it on your own. So like I mentioned, what this scavenger game is doing now, and Gemini will ask you, where are you? Are you at home or you are outside the house? So if you say you're at home, Gemini will generate 5 options for you to go and find. You take your phone, you take a picture of what Gemini asks you to find. Okay, let me show you. Let me quickly show you. So I'll run this scavenger game, but when I'm running it for just
The animation.
okay, this
particular animation.
Just run it. Let me run it on my iPhone simulator. So let me go to the prompt of this so that you see what this game is doing. So if you look at this one, look at what this game is doing. This game is telling Gemini that, hey, we are a scavenger hunt game where objects are found by taking a photo of them. Generate a list of 5 items that will be found in the following location. So the location, you have to be the one to pass it. So the difficulty to find the item should be easy, but some items could be a little bit more difficult to find. Keep this item name concise. All letters should be uppercase. Do not include articles A and D. Provide the response as a JSON object in this following schema. Do not return the markdown. So this is what we generated. So when I send it that Gemini, I'm at home, it tell me to maybe find laptop, and bag, phone, bottled water. It will be going, the difficulty will be increasing. So if you are outside, it can tell you to find a tree, then maybe the last part so that you will fail, it will tell you to find a bed that will be difficult to find. So before you find a bed to snap, the time is already out. So here is what Gemini will do for you. So this is just the game. So you say choosing your hunting game, so home or outside. So when you choose home, it will start hunting. I think I don't ask the so it's tell you to find couch. So if you press next, I'm using a simulator. It's just simulating the iOS device. So okay, I can't try to take a picture. So camera not available. So if not, if you are using your phone now, you go and find your couch and snap. So Gemini will be one to validate if the picture or couch is the same. So those are use cases. So the use cases are much, and you can build any app with any platform, not even just Flutter, Python, Go, and all. There's endless possibility, and there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of things now. People are not using AI, mostly in Kaduna, but you now with this knowledge and with the resources, you can start up something that people can even start paying to use. So I think for sure.
There's a little problem with this AI now.
Okay.
Because like most of the data that's being used, they are not Africa
Data.
based data. Because for instance now that application, that game, if it asks you to look for a chandelier and you don't have a chandelier at home,
Yes. So this is why you are the one typing the prompts. Okay, if I want to build this calendar now, specifically for Kaduna State, I'll tell, okay, we can go to Gemini and even give Gemini something for the prompts. Okay, I've already closed this. But let me open it. So this is why some people even learn prompt engineering. But it's all about your prompts. So let me copy this. Let me copy this prompt. Let me go to my Gemini AI and let me go to Gemini. Let me use a new so let me just tell Gemini. Here is the prompt. Please, should I use please? Should I beg it? Because sometimes, before I was able to get that prompt, it was returning markdown. It keeps returning markdown. Markdown is a format that will tell you that this is in JSON. I was like, what is wrong with this Gemini? Please, tomorrow is my night. So if you look at my code, although it's returning a good, although it's now returning, I don't know, maybe because the more people use your API key, the more is learning on that API key. So because of a lot of people have now generated games, it has learned from what is happening on the API key. So it will be trying to ensure that it's in that format. But if it's the first time you are trying something, you see that it's giving, if you look at my code here, you'll notice that I even at a point, I had to like say if it has markdown. Guys, if the response text has a markdown, guys, the markdown always starts with this. It shows these three codes and maybe depending on the language. If it has it, you should remove it from, this will be like 7, 4, 3, 7. Then you should remove the last 4 in the space. That was the thing I used because I was like, Gemini, what now? I told you in the prompt, don't look at it, do not return result as a markdown. But it was still returning markdown. So, but as it was learning, people were playing the game, it starts bringing it in the format of. So we can tell Gemini here to just make it in a context of Kaduna. We'll say, yes, please make the prompt in context of Kaduna Tech ecosystem. So let's see what Gemini will bring for us. So, so look at it now. It's asking for laptop, whiteboard, coffee mug. Yes, it's supposed to increase the difficulty so that you'll not be able to get it. Now it's asking for Kaduna logo, but you can just give it the prompt to make it in context of where you are. Like the game I was building, if I want to make it like something very difficult, actually the game is now worldwide because brands, I was looking for a niche that will cover everybody because I know everybody is a developer.
No problem.
We have designers, we have data science, cybersecurity, all brands contain those logos. So it was easy to cover one issue. So you just have to think to find prompts that will be in context, and you have to train the model. You have to be telling the model, hey, do this in context of this, give it examples. Like this like this one now. There's a way you train models and you give it prompt examples. There was one, okay, this one, okay. So this one, let me show you. So these are examples. These are examples we are giving Gemini. You want to, here is a list of tasks you might need to complete for that activity, something. So if I say go camping, I'm giving it, I'm training the model, I'm telling it that, okay, this is like what you should do. These are just training data. So when it's time for you to build your app, if you don't have enough data sets, you can just give Gemini some few examples.
This is.
And Gemini will learn to create it. We are building an app. I don't know if you have the source, if I have the example here. But it's an app for those that don't know how to text. A lot of people don't know how to text. And a lot of people forget about your birthday, like other people's birthday and events. So if somebody is having like a graduation party, Gemini will be the one to remind you that hey, this event is happening so day. Here is a text that you can send to this person based on personalized message. So it can tell you that, hey, Shehu, congratulations on your graduation. I'm not the one that typed it, but to make it personalized so that Shehu will see it, Shehu will think it's coming from me. I don't do anything, and Gemini will be the one to tell me the dates based on the, when you're saving the contact, you save dates, birthday, and also Gemini will be going through that, generating messages for you. So we are building that, we have to give it data sets so that it will not be adding words that we don't want. So those, if I now have the project here, I will show you what, those are just prompts. Can you do something strictly for Kaduna and tell it you should not pass the boundary? But you have to give it examples. Yeah. So thank you, there's no question. And I hope you'll be building, okay, I'm not going to that link. Please, you go to this link if you want to see that link. This is the API scavenger game, the one I showed you last. That one that uses your photo, your phone, and text. So it's just a fun game that you use Flutter and the Google AI.
I should capture your face personally.
So if you are new to Flutter, you can just follow this Flutter setup. It's easy to set up on your system. Okay, I hope it's fun and educative.
Yes, sir.
So you can keep playing the game until my battery is done. You can keep playing, but screenshot your game, screenshot your score, and I forgot it, Mr. Matthew, what is the hashtag to share on social media? So the person with, like, I think the five minutes with the highest score, Flutter Kaduna have something for them. So you screenshot your score. I know Gemini will not give you the same question, so if you like, try it. But don't screenshot, don't go and post 500. Because developers here can inspect elements and change that score to 500.
24.
Please just share it. And I think the hashtag will be GDG Kaduna, #build with AI, #Flutter Kaduna. And I think the last thing for my point of view is that for everybody that attend this,
just like as if we're using HD cameras.
It's giving you a badge on your profile, on your developer profile. So if you have a Google, if you are in the browser, I think maybe even though you don't have a Google account, you have a Google account. So you can redeem your badge because I believe everybody participates here. So this is your badge.
This is what we are using.
Let me find out.
Really?
Okay, so this, go to this site. Go to this link, sorry. You'll be awarded a
My
badge
boss have forgot me.
from Google.
You want to?
It's not just him.
Anything is in.
I know, but it's not just him.
It's the phone.
So just go to this
Ask me
link.
his phone.
You'll be given a badge which will be added to your profile. At some point in your time of your career, this can help you out when you are applying for like government events or when maybe you want to sponsor you
It's
to
full,
come to
don't
the
mind.
event. They will see that you attend this event. So when you
He's the
click on it,
chairman.
when you go to this link, you'll be awarded a badge, a 2024 AI badge on your developer profile.
This is my
Congratulations.
own. This is our carton.
my machine.
Guys, for those that play the game, if you don't play my game, don't.
Nothing for you. Nothing for you. You don't play for us.
So when you go to the link, you will be given yes, use it. So when you see your badge, you can share it on social media and
Soon enough. Now really they stand there. More they learn.
now
Eh? No best now. Sorry.
And what point am I doing?
this is the site.
My dodge is on.
Carry my money.
Google GOO.GLE. So you'll be given a badge. I believe everybody should. You should collect that badge because after this month, rise up.
Me that I'm still learning. You that have turned expert. Still now. I'm
So
still
you should see
learning.
congratulations, you have earned the AI attendee badge. So if any day anybody asks you that did you attend the AI, you can show them your badge. The link